Okay, well, we should just get started. Welcome back to Cool Video Game Time. I'm your host, the Video Game Maker, the world-famous video game maker. And today, I'm submitting to the Seattle Indies Expo, or 6, and that is due 11:59 p.m. today. So I did a playtest, and I need to see, there's a bunch of stuff that needs some fixing. Main one, actually, let's just go. This is the first time that I actually need to sort things by priority. Oh yeah. This is actually a bug, but this is the most important bug, because it actually, I think, causes a crash in the release build. I was testing it yesterday. And that was basically when I did game settings. We have, somewhere in here, we have default theme. Actually, it should say, yeah, right in here I got it. Okay, display.gd40. And that's because I have a, yeah, this here. Yeah, what I should do probably is when we... Where's our settings, actually? Game display, darken UI at night. What I actually need... Where is this? Is this in my add-ons? Okay. I actually need to have this do, something better? Yeah, I think what I need to do is... This used to have this, theme as an exported variable, but that was going to cause some issues. The first of which, so if we go to my settings, so if we go here, settings config, this is where the settings are actually saved. And it used to be that the theme would be in here, but the problem with that was it would have a reference to the script for themes, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I guess I can just double check what this had. Export var theme. Take your time, kiddo. Okay. Because basically there was a bug where it tries to read that theme, but it's never set anywhere. And it used to be that I would set it by, yeah, so we can see that there. That's null. So that's the bug. And then if we come into here, if we do theme, this is what I used to have. So what I'll probably do is just put this back as it was, and then potentially, let's see, I'm trying to think what I could do. Because I don't want the opportunity for script injection in my saves. But okay. So that should have actually fixed this... Oh, no. Okay, that didn't fix this bug either. Oh, wait. Okay, I remember now. It's because the mouse... Which honestly makes sense. You would not want your mouse to change the size of the text, though this bar is terrible. Like, I don't even think this is like a bug with me. I think this is just like what the bar is, like, how it works normally. But okay. So that works as it was. And then we can fiddle with this. Okay, so these work again. These were broken as well. So now we can set our text to be beautiful in red. Which admittedly isn't terribly useful. But okay. So what that should do now is we can see this. Okay. And honestly, this is totally fine. I thought for some reason that there was a reference to a script, but that was for the audio channels. And that's why I changed them to just serialize to a string rather than saving the resource itself. Okay, I'll call that fixed. And then let's say, or let's fix this thing. Was that really a won't ship? I'll just check that. If we go to low-res lady. Because what we should have is just, like, all of these. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, so what are the issues here? This is, I haven't encountered this at all recently. I don't think it is fixed, though. If we go to our save load, I think there is a thing here where, yeah, I think this causes a deadlock. Somehow. I'm not sure why. Oh no, okay, I see. We do it here instead. We just, I'm trying to think, is there anything that I'd want to do here that I'm not doing? I'll ignore that. Yeah, I think it's probably fine. Actually, yeah, let's just have this full. Okay, and so this is because if we go to dinner date, we actually need these to have, let's see, how do I, ooh, this is going to be tricky. Basically what I need is the ability to have these two characters be two separate heads that the dialogue box can track. Also, we need to have our typical billboard here. Let's go to billboard, local, and then dinner. No, who is that? Oh, date. Okay, so now the shading doesn't change depending on the angle of the sprite, which is exactly what I want. But yeah, basically, the dialogue is broken for this thing. And actually, what was that error that was here? So if we did, I guess let's just try it again. I'll just start the game, and we'll talk to them and see what happens. And actually, I need to go to D for dinner date, I assume. No, where the heck is it, actually? If we go to here... Okay, cutscenes, dinner date, dinner date. Okay. And this will be biker, okay. Basically, I need, dialogue, because when it does these two, because these nodes have actually been deleted, it breaks the game. And so I'm going to need to figure out some way of getting a custom speaker. And there's basically three things. Actually, this... Ah, well. This album's a little bit too intense for my brain right now. I need mild things. There we go. The album heard me, and it toned it down. But okay, I'll show you what the bug looks like. Yeah. In the release build, it'll just, like... I think this might crash, or it'll immediately exit the dial... Or exit the, No, it'll just not show the dialogue. But yeah, what we need here is... Actually... So when we do get tracker... So, get tracker. Object derived class argument 1. It's not a subclass of expected argument class. Okay, and that's because person should be... Okay, I think what this should do is... Dialogue manager. Find speaker. Okay. Function find speaker or ID string. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to make this handle its thing, and actually we should have just like a static function unregister speaker. And actually I guess this will be static. So return erase, or speakers erase, get speaker ID. There we are. And what I should do is anytime the NPCs exit, they should like mark themselves as not in there. Actually, I think this is world object would do this. So if we... Yeah, okay. So we just do that here. We're going to do function exit tree, dialogue manager, unregister. There we are. Okay, and what I'm actually going to do here is if not is instance valid, speaker's ID, push error, or like read speaker ID, erase no, speakers erase ID, return null. Okay. So now we also have a failsafe here. Rather than potentially crashing or something. And we should also probably figure out, so like what happens if this person isn't, or like doesn't exist? Let's just say, oh wait, no. Oh wait, yeah. If not person. We're just gonna do, person equals main speaker. Or eval main speaker. There we go. And this will actually be a node. So this way we have this sort of emergency thing here. And so let's see if that works, because this will not do quite what I need, but it'll at the very least have the dialogue spawn probably right about, or it'll probably spawn the bubble right here. So it'll probably be right above the middle of the table. And if push comes to shove, I can leave it at that. That's not gonna, like, break the game. But I think then I'll just add like get advanced tracker or something like that. Yeah, okay. So that works, except for the fact that now we can hear there's no proper dialogue. Or there's no proper dialogue sound. Okay. So now we need some sort of like group thing. So how do we do that? So get tracker person. I'm going to do basically speaker string, and then we're going to have like if s and s dot has method get specific speaker, or get specific tracker. Return s dot get specific tracker speaker. So basically now we have a new method where we can do our other thing. Oh wait, and then find tracker speaker string. So I think this would be speaker. Yeah. Easy. And you know what, even though it's technically not necessary, I'll keep it like this. But okay, person, and then this will be speaker. Yeah. And so that should, let's double check that that doesn't break anything before I add more changes. That's been kind of like my problem lately, of just like changing too many things at once. I gotta remember that like writing the code is not the bottleneck. You know, that's been a thing that I've been told quite regularly. Well, not quite regularly, but multiple times. That I write code plenty fast, but I don't test it fast. Or I don't test it thoroughly. Okay, well, it seems to work with those two, and I don't think there's anything special that I would have to concern myself with. So let's just do advanced tracking then. So I think it's going to be if we go to a character's face. Actually, yeah, we can just have. I'm just going to add two things: dialogue face. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the dialogue face have some more advanced stuff here. So this will be face, biker, face, monster. And this will be, I don't know, maybe doctor? Yeah, I might just do the pip for the doctor for now. Because actually, I do need to have... Let's add that as a thing here. Dialogue pip for monster. I think that's the only character that I don't have dialogue pips for yet. I assume that I have that in there. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an extra thing of like export var 2D, or like, let's say offset 2D will be vector 2 equals vector 2 0. Okay. And now I'll just have that as like a hard-coded thing. And then here, for our what have you. Okay, so this is... Okay, we just have a standard interactable here. Let's just inherit from this. And hopefully that won't break. And actually, I want this to be class name group conversation. And this is just going to have function get specific tracker node speaker. Oh wait, no. Name string. Okay, pass, and we'll have export var trackers, and this will be a dialogue. Actually, and while I'm here, I should have one of the other things that was not acceptable was the camera actually isn't correct at strange aspect ratios, so I need to do a won't ship there. Like, it literally breaks what is and isn't visible in the camera, but it breaks it invisibly, unless you're zoomed in. So this will be a dictionary of string to dialogue phase. And then basically return the name in trackers. And there we are. And then what we can have is biker, and then monster. And we might actually want to have a slightly different setup for this, but for now that'll be fine. And actually, let's rename this. This will be like group conversation. And I'll have that be, I guess, an NPC. I'm fine with that. But okay, then I need to figure out what the actual offset is going to be in screen space between these two faces. So the biker's always on the left, so let's just do like -150. Because it doesn't need to be perfect. And yeah, this will allow us to have multiple faces that are only distinguished in 2D space. Though it will be... Oh wait, no. But it doesn't actually do anything yet, because we need to have that in the bubble. So yeah, if we did track. Oh wait, how do we do that? So if we track here, hang on. Okay. Yeah, we don't need that yet. Because what we need is, if not node, set process false, set that to 0, roll out sound dialog pip, and then let's do if node, or if offset 2D in node. We're gonna do, oh, this is gonna be tricky. Let's have just var offset 2D equal vector to 0. And then we're just going to have offset 2D. Actually, we're just going to have if node and that. Offset 2D equals node offset 2D. Else offset 2D equals vector to 0. Okay, and now what I can do is I can just add this offset to our position. So where do we do that? We do that somewhere in here. Target position. Okay. Here's where we do this. I think. No, we need to go up a level. Yes, okay. So, in the myriad millions of things that I have here, we need to figure out where the screen position is. And also, I think this is where the... Well, I'll have to double check if this works as well in, like, a weird aspect ratio. Because I basically didn't test in windowed mode at all. And that's what causes the issue. Because I think it's, like, when one dimension is less than expected, it, like, stretches it weird because it's using stretch mode canvas items. But okay. That's neither here nor there right now. Basically, I need to remember where our screen position is. So target position is the actual thing that we're going to be looking for. And that means we need placed position, I believe, here. So this is screen position. So I think... Okay. I think it should just be plus offset 2D. I think that's what we have there. And then we have a similar thing for 3D... Actually, how do we do this one? This one's strange. Cam 2, extent, position. Oh, okay. But that's just if... Okay, this is if it's outside of the screen. And I'd like to improve this behavior soon. So yeah, this is basically... behavior behind... I don't need to do that. It's pretty obvious, like, if is position... Let's actually make that a bit more clear. If not position behind that, we do this stuff. Otherwise, we do this stuff. Okay. So I think now, if we do the dialogue again... Okay. So let's just test the offsets here. They'll look a little janky because they're purely 2D. Okay. You can see, so it looks pretty good here. Okay. I like that. The only downside is, yeah, as I mentioned, because it's purely 2D, it's not actually based on the character's position in world space. And so, yeah, as we get further away, it gets less and less accurate, but that's okay. I think here at 150, that feels about right. I could improve the tracking a little bit, but that's fine. Okay. Because, yeah, I'd never tested these characters with that new system. And I think now... What do I want here? I'm just going to have ... Because I do actually like them having a bit of dialogue there. Okay, so I think that is my, like, other important thing. Oh, yeah, and then we need to actually test the real issue. My coffee is terrible. I don't know what I did. My coffee maker just isn't very good either. Because I get regularly floods. Oh wait, I have to do options. Actually, first of all, let's lower the master volume. Eventually I need to have the volume louder. Oh wait, no. And then we need to go to display. Wait, this is windowed? Oh, I see. Another bug. Game does not start in windowed mode if that's set. Yeah, by default, it's always in full screen, but okay. So the bug is, we can see here that little box is only in the top left corner of the screen. It'll be kind of hard to see on stream, but yeah. I think it's basically limited to the same aspect ratio as the monitor. Though, actually, something that's really weird is it's also only limited to a very small upper portion of the screen. I don't get it. But yeah, and that actually affects the real visibility. For example, if I take a photo here, the dinner date doesn't show up. But if I take it here, now, let's see, hang on. There we go. Now it works. Yeah, okay, so we need to get the camera UI. And I believe here it's going to be, actually, is this where we get the visible objects? Free indicators, active indicators, some crazy thing with the pooling here. Yeah, so much of this is actually like just like fiddling. I think maybe it's the indicators update here. I think this is what it actually, yeah. Get visual name, get global position, size, indicator size. Okay. So this I think this window get size is not correct. Specified by window ID in pixels, excluding the borders drawn by the operating system. What? I think it's because I'm mixing the viewport. No. If you go back to this. I think this here. Okay, when we get the box, display server get window size, the origin is max that. The N2D is min this. Unproject position. So this isn't doing anything? What is this? Oh, right, because it's not zoomed in. Okay. Okay, so what's our window size? 1904 by 430. That seems correct. And so, yeah, we have the origin here as the max of that, which doesn't make any sense there. Unless this unprojected position... Oh, hang on. I think... Okay. Unproject position seems to do something weird with the stretch mode. So it returns the 2D coordinate in the viewport rectangle that recognizes this. Okay. So we don't need the viewport rectangle. We need the... Okay. I think it actually is specifically, we need var w equals get viewport, or like a c dot, no, o dot get viewport dot get, maybe it's get viewport rectangle? Hang on. Var, yeah, I think the issue is I'm mixing up display server and the viewport. Hmm. Okay, I should probably have like a more mild album. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Godot, for hiding my mouse but not having it in focus, so when I pause, it doesn't release it. You know, Katamari Damacy sound effects, maybe. You know what? I don't want any music right now. It always feels weird to turn off the music on stream, but yeah. Okay, so my issue is, well, first of all, it's getting quite annoying that the windowed mode doesn't work. Oh, wait, that's what I need. There we go. And also, sometimes when you set windowed, it's like this like Windows 98 fucking ass thing. I don't know when that happens. It's just sometimes it does that. Also, I just realized this is not darkened with the rest of the UI. Whatever. They did something weird with the combo boxes. They also don't scale properly. It's blurry. Okay. So this is what it considers to be the viewport size. And that's because, okay, I see. It maintains the minimum size there, and that makes sense. And so that's how it preserves the aspect ratio internally. And so then I need to, or basically like, because I'm using canvas stretch, or a stretch mode, it has to assume that the minimum bounds are never like shrunk, because otherwise then things would be like off the screen. But okay. And that means that now I then need to untransform this. So basically we then need to get like var dw equals display server dot window, or like get window, no, window size. Wait, hang on, does this actually get, wait, what? Window get size. Can we like click on this and see what it does? Okay. Returns the size of the window specified by window ID, excluding the borders drawn by the operating system. This is called the client area. So is this the same aspect ratio as the viewport visible rectangle? But okay, yeah, because we need to convert from viewport to actual window size. Ratio equals, this is going to be W divided by DW. Okay, and so now what we can do is, I guess ratio times this. No, we can't do that. But we can do times ratio. And then this times ratio. Okay. Let's see if that works. Because then the indicator size should be in world coordinates. Yeah, because, yeah, we get the box and then we we constrain it to the actual window size, not to the, hang on. I think it thought I was holding the Alt key, which is a classic. But okay, it's also getting very, very annoying that the, this isn't windowed properly. Oh, I see. I think it's switching from borderless window to normal windowed is what causes like the weird thing with the yeah, okay. So specifically, switching from borderless window to window gives it the Windows 98 style. Whatever. I don't care. Okay. So we do see some issues here. Well, actually, do we? Or is it just that this yard sculpture is really big? Oh no, we do see some issues here. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So what is our malfunction here? Okay. So this is the actual size of the window. W is the internal size of the window. Or this is what it's considering for like the logic of laying things out. And then if we have that here, so that ratio is 1.573, 1 point, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then we should have, oh wait, I think they should be divided by it. I mean, I guess I can just do dw divided by w. Yeah, okay, I think I just flipped those ratios. And I think that should mean that those boxes are good, and then we need to figure out where the actual... Okay, yes. Wait, no. We haven't changed anything yet. Or we need to do this again. Okay. It doesn't work at all. So, how... But how does it not work? Is the question on my mind. Maybe it's because it just doesn't need the ratio. Maybe it's because we should just be using the screen space or like the viewport space coordinates. And then here, this would use, W size is going to be, when do we use W size? Yeah, I think here, this is correct, actually. Wait, no, it's not going to be correct. Yeah, because this needs to be the viewport still. And so where is indicator size at? I think this needs to just have the viewport. And so we're just going to do like v dot get visible rectangle dot size. And then, yeah, here we just do the viewport. And then here it's just going to be, what, object.get viewport. Okay, and then I think the last thing we would need is I'm pretty sure when we go to the player, the camera here needs to actually get things. So like, yeah. So in camera.good, so we're going to do like var v equals get viewport. There we are. Okay. Because, yeah, we never need multiple viewports. And, you know, each object doesn't need its own. Or doesn't have its own, I should say. But okay, I think maybe that is correct. So let's just double check. Yeah, in the normal case of, you know, full screen mode, works fine. And then we need to go to full screen windowed. And I think this will also, I think this would also be an issue if the player's monitor was not 1080p. Okay, and now we get this correctly. Okay, good. So it was basically, I needed to use the viewport coordinates, not the world space coordinates. And then let's double check. Okay, big pile of mail, blah, blah, blah. Let's double check what that subject was. Big pile of mail, dinner date, biker, the monster, you. I guess this just wasn't... I guess the car just wasn't important enough. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I think. I can't actually read anything. Okay. Okay, good. We do have the car. Big pile of mail. Okay, so now that works. So that was, I think, my actual major, like, problem. And yeah, now we fixed it. And then the next thing to do. We need release build doesn't work, so that should be completed. Let's actually just test that, because it's easy enough to export this. I just need to do that. And then if we go to here, let's see. I kind of do want music now. I know what to do. I'll just do VLC so that way I can get some like mild music. Okay, now we're listening to the Card City Nights soundtrack. I'm going to close that so that way we get more performance. And then we're going to do kitty camera debug. Yeah. And this one will tell us the debug issues. And also, it starts in the wrong monitor now. It's kind of strange. Because I thought they fixed it so that, like, when you... Or that it would, like, remember what monitor it ran in. But I don't think they did. But okay. Now, I don't think there were any errors here. Okay, good. Because, yeah, the main issue was the theme of the UI was not quite right. Or, basically, I think the bug with the theme UI was what broke it. But I guess the final test is... Save and exit. There's some leaks here. I don't care. Like, surely... if it leaks data when it's shutting down, the application can just figure out, like, yeah, it doesn't need that anymore. But yeah, it seems to be some bug with Godot itself. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know how I'd be leaking these. But okay. So I think that is that one. So we probably should have had these here as, like, separate. Okay, let's test this now. So, camera debug, release, LTO. Okay, and these were the ones that were silently crashing. Okay, good. And now they don't crash. Because, yeah, the debug build could just print the errors, and it was interesting to realize that the release builds will just straight up crash when they reach, like, script errors. But okay, so now it at least starts up, and so we can do some more testing here once I fix the other bugs. Awesome. Okay. Other errors from prompts, so signal prompts changes already connected given to callable blah. Yeah, let's fix that while we're here. I don't want any more, like, stray errors clogging up the works. Yeah, let's say other script errors. Block not found, exit. Did I actually, like, record where that was from? I should have. But okay, let's just have git how did I change so much already? Oh, right, I did actually. I was like, how did I fix this? But okay, git commit. We need this for now. All right. So let's say fixed the worst of it. Don't care. Prompt. So yeah, something to do with connecting the signal here. So let's just do if not visibility is connected to refresh. I just don't like having those bugs there. I'm also not sure why it calls this multiple times. Take your time, Godot. Because I'm pretty sure refresh is supposed to only be called once. Oh, no. Init signals in UI. Okay. So this is the actual thing. And it's specifically prompts changed. Okay, so let's just do like if not C dot is connected. Oh, and this is because... Okay. Because we're basically configuring the signals for two different objects. Okay, that explains why this works here. So this was not the issue. I thought it was because it says prompts changed. Yeah, so we'll just have that there. Also, when do we have visibility? Is visibility changed? Oh, is that a built-in signal? Okay, fair enough. But okay, that means then, it took me like a minute to figure out what I was doing. Okay, yeah. So the main thing, the reason this was causing issues is because this node is not the UI node. So when this ready function is called, it can be called multiple times for the lifetime of this object. But this is just the best place to have that set. I think. Okay. So let's say that's probably fine. No block found exit. That's probably because when we do dialog evaluator, fast exit. Whatever. Hang on. I'll just press like B or whatever. Actually, how the hell am I leaving dialog early? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm leaving dialogue early. It was something to do with the monster. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say I don't care. That's been a thing for a while, and it literally just like is a error printed message. Okay, so remove controller rebinding UI for now. Good idea. It doesn't work. So yeah, get property listing. We're just gonna have this removed for now. I mean, I guess what I could actually do is just game settings. So this is what actually does this for now, and we're just gonna have this be that. So this should mean there's no configuration public or visible for the controls. Because yeah, I didn't actually get around to configuring the bindable, or like getting the bindable controls configured. Wrong button. Options, controls. Okay, fair enough. Doesn't seem to break. Okay, add other options for the raccoon. Yes, I want to do this because I think the mushrooms are going to be too confusing. Because raccoons eat garbage. It'll be fun as like a little secret. And I think a lot of adventure games could benefit from having multiple solutions to puzzles, not just for the sake of like player expression or like replayability or something, but because that'll make it less confusing for the player, like less likely for them to get stuck. Like, oh, well, how the heck was I supposed to know you were supposed to take a photograph of the mushrooms for the raccoon to eat? Where, like, instead now, if I have the garbage cans and then, like, other food and stuff, and they're like, oh, well, that's obvious that you can take photos of those. And then the mushrooms can be, like, a little secret. It's like, ooh, did you know you can also take a photo of the mushrooms, and you can take a photo of the poison mushrooms, and then you'll die? But okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom and get some water, and then I'll be back to do that. Okay, I'm back. I also brushed my teeth with baking soda and salt, and for some reason that started to taste like tuna fish. Like tuna salad specifically. And I'm not sure what the heck the deal is with that. Maybe there's like, I don't know, sodium carbonate, or no, what is it? What is baking soda made from? Well, maybe that chemical is just in fish or something. It's very strange, but okay. We have things working. Game doesn't seem to crash there. Let's add a garbage can, because I think that'd be fun. And I think I'll have some sort of setting to just, like... I think I'm not going to unbind them. I'm just going to have, like, a config option, maybe. But okay. Yeah, let's just make some garbage cans. So where would we even put garbage cans? Let's go to the street dumpster. I'm trying to remember what my local dumpster looked like. I don't think it was on wheels. It had the... it did have these things. These things are important, or something like them. To actually, like, attach it to a dump truck. Or, you know, so they can lift it up and dump it in. But then whose dumpster is it, and where would it be? I guess out here they might not have the dumpster, or the full-on dumpsters. They might have, like, trash cans, because we don't have an alley where I can put a dumpster. I mean, I guess I could put an alley here. Because, yeah, that was how my town worked. There was just, like, a gravel alley between the houses, and that's where everybody put their dumpsters. But I don't think that's... yeah, I don't think that's where it is here. Trash pickup. Yeah, I've never lived in a place where people had their trash out on the street like this. Okay, well, let's just make one of these trash cans. I think this is probably what they'd have here. And this won't be too complicated. Yes, let's have garbage cans, so like model, model, textures, sound, effect. Do we want sounds on this? What did I just do? Did I just do something? Okay, model, textures, and then logic. And I think I'd actually like there to be something like food adjacent next to the garbage. Yeah, what would be funny? I think that's my question. I would like a dumpster. I still think the dumpster would be funnier. We could move Bill's house, have the valley, or have like an alleyway here, have the dumpster here. And then you can like jump into the dumpster. And then in the dumpster there is food. Because, actually, I'm just curious. Yeah, whatever. I'll just make one of these the trash cans. Even though, admittedly, I actually don't even know, like, where do you put the trash can? Like, when it's not out on the street. I don't know anything about these trash cans. I think these should be probably about a meter tall, a little more than a meter tall. I think about there's fine for that. Let's have these clip. There we go. And then, complex. I think we want 0.05, actually. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so these are a bit narrower at the base, but a bit more square at the top. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Probably just by, something like this. Yeah, that feels good enough. What do I want here exactly? Are these, like, not connected? No, okay, they are connected. It's just doing something weird here with the solidify. Yeah, because I want it to do that, I guess. Oh, I see. It's just slightly skewed like that. Okay. Okay, that basically looks like a trash can. And then we need a lid that'll go on top. It'll be right about here. Axle. Okay, and this is going to be crash, lid, kinematic. There we go. Now we have a beautiful lid. And then, yeah, I want some wheels on the side here. Something like this, maybe? And then do I want to bother with having, like, better anything here? No, I think this will be fine, but let's also make this smooth. Except for the actual... there. Oh, wait, no. Well, that doesn't work. Because, yeah, I didn't want... whatever. What if we just shade it smooth by default? Okay, that didn't work because for some reason this area in here isn't marked as smooth. Alright, well. Mark this as sharp. Mark this as sharp. And so that way we get that phenomenon of that. Oh wait, hang on. Clear the sharp there. Does that feel about right? Kind of. Yeah, they're more cubed on the sides and stuff. Okay. That feels fine. And then actually, is there anything I want to do differently about the lid? I think there is, in the sense that I want this to be like 0.08. And then just a little bit like that. So that way, does that. Okay, so this should probably be outdoor. Oh wait, no, I'm in the wrong world. There we are. Garbage can. Okay, garbage can. Interesting, thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, because I fucked this up. Okay, hang on. There we go. There we are. Okay. Environment, decor, outdoor, garbage can. Also, I've been thinking of making my own Blender scene, like, exporter. So that way I can... Because basically, I realized... I investigated why sometimes random things will be renamed and why the exporter is just in general so bad between Blender and Godot. And it's because it just uses Blender's built-in GLTF exporter, which apparently is where all the issues are coming from with like renaming nodes and stuff like that. So I basically want to make my own scene editor so that way I can edit levels in Blender like I am. And it doesn't like fall apart every single time. And it'd do things like not check every single mesh, or no, not make unique copies of every single instance of a mesh, and not load all of the nodes of individual like scenes that are referenced. Yeah, let's just go to opulent medium though. No, this is the wrong thing. I'm like going insane. I was basically testing the opulent medium against my scene exporter, because I've actually started making it. But yeah, I think what I want is... maybe you can just look in the garbage cans. I'm going to have... Bill's garbage can is going to be here. Oh wait, no. I was in the right place. Outdoor. Can 1. And this will be like, can Bill. So yeah, I'm thinking at some point we can have one of these be open. And this will be like, can Carlson. Like they've already put it out on the street here. And then I don't know where their garbage can will be in here. Maybe it'll be in like, I don't know where I want to put it. Because like, yeah, seriously, where do you put these gigantic like garbage cans? It's so inconvenient. Maybe you put it in the back and then you like haul it through the entire house. Because I know you're not supposed to put them on the street. Okay, and then we'll need to figure out which of these cans will actually have something in it. Maybe they'll all have something in them. And the challenge will be, I don't know. Take your time, kiddo. Why is it re-importing the cone? Why does it have to re-import the cone every single time? Like, every time I edit the world scene, it has to re-import the cone. And yeah, this would be a lot faster with my system, because right now, to deduplicate meshes, I have to get every vertex of every mesh and then put a, like, hash it, so that way I can make sure that unique meshes are actually, like, deduplicated. But okay, plastic, dark. For now, we're just going to have a very simple thing here. Door handle. And we should probably also have the thing itself be like a world object. Oh wait, but we should have that here, and then we can have sub-object here. There we go. So that way we can have this thing be the actual body of it. Okay, and then what? Triplanar. So yeah, for now I'll just make a one of these. Let's do like green. Is that a trash can color? And then the ceiling will be slightly darker and more blue maybe. Why does 150 start getting weird? Oh well. Thank you, Godot. And thank you for only... What? Why did it... Okay, so it undid... It undid 2 colors. The first... Or the last one I'd edited, and the first one I edited. Okay. Well, there we go. That's what a trash can looks like. And then this will have, by default, trash can. Okay, where is languages, IDs? ID trash can, trash can plus. I'll just say trash cans for now. I could do something funny there. But okay, if we go to the world, so now I can add a unique ID to each trash can if I want there to be something unique about each trash can. Okay, that does feel right, to have, like, the trash can at the end of the driveway there. Oh yeah, and then I need to actually have the door there and the wisp there and the stuff like that. Okay, go back to the garbage can. Okay, there we are. And now what I can do is custom wisp and door. This will be something like 0.5, 0.8 maybe. Okay, 0.4. So we're just going to do our classic accelerate, decelerate. And because of Godot's insane stuttering, when that tooltip pops up, I have to remember to like instantly like move my mouse away. Okay. I love Godot. But okay, I think we got 90% of the way here with this. I can just, well, no. I do want to make a proper texture. But first things first, actually, I should probably... Yeah, let's go to the raccoon. So raccoon.dialog, let's do photo trash can. Is that, did I call it trash can or garbage can? Trash can. So yeah, photo trash can where not game get stat raccoon moved. You can't expect me to search every single trash can. For food, can you? I have a bridge to guard. I think that's funnier. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so now there's a reason that you can't just take a photo of a trash can and then he'll like see the food in it. So you can't expect me to search every single trash can for food, can you? Let's say... Alright. Let's see. You know, let's say you're a stupid. So that way I can just say, would a stupid, be a bridge master? There we go. So let's see if this works. So that way we get, yeah. There should be some minor platforming challenge to get into the trash and see if there's something good in there. And yeah, then I'll need to figure out, like, oh, I see. I forgot to actually attach the door to this. There we are. Okay, so we could actually just jump and open the trash can and then, like, close it. but I think I should have like something so that way the player can like jump onto it. Because yeah, this does not seem like a challenge that's intentional, you know, jumping up to it. So yeah, I'll put like a box or something that the player can jump on to get up to it, because that feels like kind of the nature of most of the platforming in this game, of like finding the route up to the thing. Like, could we get something where like you can get on top of this fence, for example? Oh wait, but if we do that... Oh wait, we already have that through that. But that means you'd have to do... Actually, I'm kind of fine with that. Basically, we could have multiple trash cans that have food in them. And so basically what we could do is... You get up to here. You jump down to here. You jump across this. And then you actually tightrope walk all the way there. Well, I could make the tightrope walk a bit easier by just making the fence thicker. Or having like a little like reinforcing bar or something like that. You know, because fences in real life, they're not just like they're not just like straight slats of wood like this. I could do that. And yeah, then you would jump here. And then there'd be stuff in there. And so I should also have some trash in here. Let's just do plain, and this will be trash. And then set that to smooth. There we are. And actually, I'm going to make this a S body. Okay. And actually, I want it to be... Let's move it a little bit lower. Okay, that feels fine. So yeah, we'll need textures for the body, the wheel, and the trash itself. And then actually, whatever unique thing is in each trash can. Oh wait, and we can't use the Westons because their trash can is locked behind actually getting into the thing. And we should probably also have some way of not getting into the... Or like, if we can get into the Weston's backyard and take a photo of their trash, we should also have something to like keep or like prevent the player from soft locking themselves. So I think I do need one of those slides that I was like gonna make and then didn't. Yeah, I'll think about that. Let's do let's just make the unique things. Add option for the raccoon. So yeah, unique trash. So that'll be like Bill and Carlson's. And then we also need platforming to the can. So yeah, Bill, Carlson's, Weston. And yeah, let's actually have each one of these have something good in it. And then we're going to do put a slide in the Weston's property. And this, honestly, I think these will be lower priority. Because, yeah, what we can do is, we'll have more important things done first. So, yeah, like, I think this will need to be up there quite a bit. I really do want achievement UI. Okay, this is fine. Okay, I'm gonna say that this is a, like, could ship as well. Did I even test the trash cans? No, I didn't. Actually, I don't need to test the trash cans yet, because we're gonna need, first of all, blender... No, not blender, Krita. Okay, that actually does have just a smidge of noise. Okay. Well, while Krita is taking 45 minutes to load up, I will test the thing. Okay. I think Krita started up eventually. Okay, yeah, it did. But let's see, let's pay the raccoon a visit. Oh, wait, I need to start a new game. Oh, I didn't do it right. Well, the speed run is dead. Yep, run ruined. I fumbled it. Okay. I'd like to redo the sound slightly so the engine is still a little bit visible or audible when you're, like, releasing, or when you release the gas in the air, but oh well. Why is this moving sideways? Well, I don't care. Oh wait. The entire point of this was to... I have to take a photo of the garbage. Thankfully. There we go. Okay. Alright. You can't expect me to search every trash can for food. Okay. Let's see what these are. Ghost body. Okay, fair enough. That's because the player has, like, duplicate tracks for different sprites, and some of the sprites are invisible at a given time. But okay. I have a bridge to guard. Okay. That's okay. Let's get the unique food in here. So these will be, I'm going to say, yeah, 128 by 128. And these will be some sort of object. Maybe under stuff. Actually, delete them from there. Put it under the raccoon's logic. So that way we can have, yeah, we have that here. Food. So yeah, what would be in each person's thing? I want cake. And then we'll have, I don't know, burgers or something. All right, there we are. Actually, I want this to be maybe like this, so that way, there we go. All right. And we'll have this do like this. And then right here, okay. No, this is the light portion, darker portion. I think this will be fine. Do I want something else here? And then maybe we want like old cherries or something. Let's put those on top of this. There we are. Okay. Wait, I didn't... well, whatever. I don't care. I was about to say I shouldn't have done that on this layer, but yeah, who cares? Okay, and then we're gonna have like a little gray here. So these are like shiny. And then we're gonna have kind of, I don't know, some sort of decoration on the side of the cake here. Man. We need these. Actually, I'm just gonna merge this down. Oh wait, hang on. There we go. No, I actually prefer that for here. I think it's just specifically in this area. And let's look up a cake as well while we're here. I wish it didn't constantly change the layout of everything. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the crumb would look like. Man, now I want cake. I could get cake. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Like, in the middle of the stream, I'm going to take like a half-hour break to just go to the store, buy a cake. I deserve to stress eat a little one once in a while. Okay. I like the little circles here, so we're going to have those. Actually, I'm going to do them like this. Yeah, there we are. And then here, I kind of want this to be more of an orangish yellow. Well, not quite like that. Maybe like that. Yeah, that feels okay. And then we can do just something darker like this. Okay. This will be food, cake. Okay. And now I need to figure out, do I want it to be like part of the garbage can, or do I want it to be here in the world? And actually, can I add children to a world object here? Yeah, I think that means that I'd also want it to be harder to take a photograph of things inside of here. But for now, let's just do what is it going to be? Object? Entity? Common entity. Cake. Point. Yeah, I think 0.5 is fine. Well, 0.4. Oh. Never mind. And actually, this is one of the only things where I want it to not have... Ooh, hang on. I'm actually going to need to delete that. Cake. Or common object. So, new inherited scene. There's going to be cake. Or like old cake or whatever it is. Okay. NPC. Raccoon. Cake. And then this here, make this unique because I think it might still have a reference to like the existing file. Let's do the radius of like 0.3, no, 0.15. Okay, that'll be fine. And now the only issue is we actually need to have this. Wait. What? How did this not do? Oh, right, because we need actually... Okay, that's what we need, except we need to have it be our billboard. We need to duplicate this, because we actually need to have sprite billboard full. Or like, yeah, I guess like that. And yeah, we will not need that. So let's get our, like... I'm gonna need to figure this out. Enabled. Let's convert to shader material. And then I'm just gonna copy this here. Okay, yeah. And we don't need that at all. Okay. Sprite billboard full. With the cake. There we go. So now this is like a full-on billboard. And we actually can have this... I'm just going to rename this to garbage food. Because yeah, now we're just going to put this in each of these. And I think that'll be fine, probably. Except would I like these to be, like, not... Ah, whatever. I'll keep it like this for now, and then we can, like, have it... Yeah, I think this will be fine. Okay, so... Food, cake... And this should be named garbage food. And that means that now, for the placers here... Where's our raccoon? So now we're gonna have, like, garbage 1. Because basically each item that we get we will have our NPC here. I should probably have had these like all childed or like all in the hierarchy with each other. Well, I could do that still. I don't care. I don't care enough to do it. No, I do care enough, actually. So this is going to be like raccoon placers. And yeah, because I can do that for all of these as well. Ah, well. Okay, so when we go to the NPCs now, well, let's get this cake in here. I got so much crap. Man. I'm gonna consolidate some of these notes. Okay. There we go. Oh wait, no, I needed IDs.csv. Because there, we have, what is it called? Food cake or something like that? Just now, there we go. Take your time, kiddo. There we go. And you know, I'm going to put this under entities. So yeah, food cake. So yeah, old cake. Okay, and that'll be our new one here. Oh wait, hang on. This needs to be... Okay. We should have this be like food or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have this be like move. Yeah, we'll also have like photo garbage here. I could just have one tag for both of them, but I can't be bothered to go through and find the mushrooms and do that. So yeah, we're just gonna have this be garbage, which should have an underscore because we can't have it be there. Okay. Get stats, raccoon moved. Actually, now we don't need this at all, because now we know that these are true. Oh wait, no. We actually do need that, though. So then exit plus main speaker update. Oh wait, no. We're gonna need to have yeah, let's just say he runs off. Main speaker update. Raccoon moved Hmm. Okay. Game set stat raccoon slash. This is gonna be I guess just garbage. Okay. Yeah, now we have these. And then, yeah, where's our NPCs? Probably up here near people. We got a lot of these. Okay. Placer thing, quest. 1 raccoon, garbage. Garbage 1. Okay, and I'm glad that these are all working still. Okay, so now I need to figure out as well, so if otherwise game gets stat oyster, otherwise... garbage. You know what? Any stat. Okay, save load. So we have get stat. Don't we have like any stat? No, we don't. We're just going to do function any stat s array return s.any get stat. Oh wait, we can just do that. And that should probably just work. Okay. So yeah, now we have, admittedly, a much more obvious way of accomplishing this task, which, not terrible. Not a bad idea, honestly. Okay. And then I want something a little bit more interesting to figure out. How do we make the Carlson's garbage can less accessible? I guess I could just slightly change how the, well, I don't know what I'd do. I think I will just leave it as it is, and basically you can jump up and just activate it, but I'll also add, like, some boxes behind it. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you can just do that. And so now I should be able to just get the trash for him. And I think it'd be neat if each character had unique trash textures, but I'm not going to bother with that. Wait, can he tell which trash, or whose trash that is just from the can? Yeah, because that way you don't have to have any extra complicated stuff. This is basically just that. Didn't work. Why did that not work? Because we should have raccoon slash moved and raccoon slash garbage, yeah. And that should have worked, unless I misspelled it again. Okay. Okay, so save load. Set stat. Raccoon garbage 1. And I'm pretty sure you can spell it with 1 C or 2 C's. I think. Like, I think both spellings are very common. So I don't know why I, like, inflicted upon myself always spelling it with 2 C's. Because I constantly don't think that's correct. But okay, now he's here. Oh yeah, he should have his emotion. And there should also be a deleter on the garbage there. Oh wait, but that's going to be tricky. Because I don't typically have a requirement for the value on a deleter. But okay. Basically, we'll have fed here. There we go. And eventually, someday, maybe I could have, like, unique things for these, but we're going to do a deleter that is actually... So let's see what I could do with this. Let's do, like, export required value. And this will just be an int. And then we're going to do, like... So we're going to do, like, and not required value and value. Or let's just do this. If key equals stat and value. Var v equals. If not required value and value, or value equals required value, we do that stuff. There we go. So if we don't have a required value, oh wait, hang on. Let's do if required. So if required value is greater than or equal to 0. Wait, no. I'm getting this flipped. Okay. If the required value is less than 0, and we have value is Boolean, or our value is equal to required value, we will then do this stuff. Because otherwise, if it's like 0 by default, that'll kind of mess it up. And by mess it up, I mean, something. Oh yeah, if the required value was 0, that would mean that anytime value is set to 0, it'll also be considered equal to required value. So that messed things up. Because typically I use 0 to mean it is not set, so don't delete it. But okay. Okay, that's good. Except, how did this not, yeah, this should no longer exist because we should have, oh, any stat. There we are. Okay. Wrong thing. Because game any stat should just work. Why did that not work? On evaluator any stat. Failed to execute any stat. No. This should just work. Because this is under... Wait, what the hell is this? Save load. So yeah, this should have that. Maybe there's some issue with... What would there be an issue with, actually? Okay, so that's just not being called, which is concerning, because it seems like it'd be pretty simple to just call a function. I guess I can just go... Let's go to the raccoon dialog. It's been a while since I've had to actually look at this. Okay, so it's probably going to be line 18. So game.anystat, raccoon, oyster. Okay, so this exists. Like, because we do, like, game.any, so... Is it because I'm not actually getting the save? So if we do game state... Hang on. Return state any stat s. Okay. Function all stats. Okay. Function any stat s array to bool return s.any get stat. Okay, so now it should work. Okay. We actually need to have a slightly different thing here. So, game get stat raccoon slash oyster skip otherwise. Okay. Okay, so this should look ever so slightly different. Okay, so now we have at least the basic logic for the Carlson's trash, platforming to the can. I think we can just put some, like, boxes here. So let's just do that. Where's Blender? Maybe I'm just gonna have, like, let's go to generic boxes. Where did that go? What did I just do? Oh, is it because boxes are already linked somewhere? I think I guess they are, but I don't know how to reference them. I guess I'll just do an empty. Because I think what I can do here is I can instance a collection. Box tall. Okay, there we are. We'll have this kind of like there, I guess. That seems fine. Box medium. Okay. Actually, what if we put this one down by the curb? I'm trying to figure out, like, what is a way of making this seem more interesting? What if we just have a larger box, actually? Okay. And then I'm going to have plain axes. This is going to be like a Carlson trash. And we're just going to have these things all here attached to that. There we go. And then that's going to attach to that. No. This is going to attach to, I guess, the cul-de-sac itself. I'm fine with that. And then our next thing will be getting the fence. And I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to add a back post to the fence along Bill's house. So that way it's easier to walk along. And then I'm going to put something in his trash can. And I don't know what exactly it's going to be. Why are these... Oh, right, because these aren't, like, named properly. Okay. And so we also do need open and closing sounds for these. Sounds, open, close. And that's good enough there. And also... Wait, did I not put the textures here? Oh, I think I lowered the priority, even though... No, I don't think that should be lowered. Actually, where is junk sign? Wait, where's... Huh? Sign. Okay, I see. Do I see? Okay. Okay, so we can at least get some of these other things. Yeah, let's just do the platform into the can now. Something I could do... No, I'm not going to bother. I was about to say I could just duplicate or, like, add part of this. But basically, that'll be annoying. You know, actually, I will use a plane here, though. Because I'm going to do a solidify of, like, 0.4. and there's going to be our, like, backing board S-body. I might do, like, one of these for each wall or something. But alright. I see. These aren't perfectly aligned, but I guess that's fine. Do I want... How many of these do I want? And where do I want them positioned at? Okay. There we are. Actually, wait. Is this thing actually, like... Oh, I see. Okay. This whole fence is just out of, like, alignment. Oh, well. Okay. That seems fine. Okay. Wait, this is another thing that's not lined up. Whoops, wrong button. I have like two numpads, as I've talked about before. One controls my stream and the other is actually just like a normal numpad. But okay, okay, I didn't realize this was aligned by 90 degrees. This fence is not aligned. Wait, look at how off-kilter everything is. Why did I set it up that way? I could have not done that. Well, too late now. And hopefully hopefully Godot is okay with long convex colliders. Because it was in the past it wasn't okay with long triangles, but that was specifically bullet. There we are. Okay. And hopefully that all looks good. Okay, so that should maybe slightly improve the platforming here, and if it doesn't, I could just move these up a bit more. And actually, I don't want this one anymore just because it's going to be... I don't want to do that work again. Wait, no. I just realized. It's completely trivial. Wait, now I'm fucking it up. Okay. You just Alt-D, Z, and that should just work. Because I don't think these are, like, so screwed up that they're also, like, not vertically straight up and down. Take your time, Godot. Okay, so now we can just make these all wood. What would this look like? That's not... Yeah, that doesn't go in the direction that I want it to go in. Yeah, I need to get, what if we just go to Krita, get our, environment, textures, bill? No. Wood 1? Actually, we can use porch chair. Yeah, I'm gonna make this unique. Yeah, there we go. And then we can make this slightly similar in color by, like, yellowing it a bit. There we go. This will be a little bit darker. That way we can see it a bit better. Okay, there we are. Let's see if that makes that a bit easier to walk on. I think it should marginally help, but maybe I move that all the way up to right next to the edge. But okay. But okay, now we should have the ability, if I just walk this way. Okay, yeah. That feels much more robust. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll make it so that, something. Those things aren't, like, perfectly Z fighting each other. Yeah, just move that up a little bit or something. Okay, that gets us the platforming up to here. Because, yeah, that does work pretty well. And it doesn't look weird, really. Because that is kind of how fences work. I mean, admittedly, you'd also have the, like, slats going, like, this way more vertically. But I don't care that much. So yeah, we're just gonna do, what else am I gonna do? I guess I need to also have some boxes or something here. If we go to the world. Yeah, I might need something. Yeah, what is it that I want here now? Because we could have this open up, but then the player might be pushed through the wall. My throat's going weird. Okay. I don't know, just an old log or something? I don't care. Mark those as sharp and then smooth. And then we'll just get the exact same material that the other wood has. Yeah, I think we just have that there. Empty. Bill, garbage. And then we put this attached to something like maybe this. And yeah, that way we have like something we can stand on. Though maybe I'll do something a bit more parallel to it. Like that. So that way you can stand here, open this, all A-okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have any strong opinions on it other ways. Or otherwise. Though I should probably make these both part of Bill's location, or like Bill's house. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, you know what? Bill, junk. Okay, go to Bill house. Append from the world. Bill junk, not localize all. That's extremely important. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it's not Bill Garage. I thought that's what it said. But okay. I think this is basically exactly where it's supposed to be. Except I do think we should move this up a little bit. Because right now, they're a smidge too low now. Okay. Go back to the world. It's going to be pretty annoying to go back and forth between these, but I can't be bothered. How do we delete the hierarchy? Interesting. Okay. So we actually need to move it up and to the right slightly. Maybe there? Yeah, what I would like to do is maybe have a reference to the world. But I'd have to figure out how to do that in a way that doesn't, like, fuck up things even further. Yeah, I think I really should make that custom scene system. And then from henceforth, like, use that instead. But okay. Now we got Bill's garbage, and it's in this scene, not the world scene, so this way I can manage its visibility however I see fit. Take your time, Godot. Okay. Don't we have logs as like a material here? Maybe it's attached to these. Yeah, this material. Oh, right. These are called pipes. Okay. Save as... let's just put it in textures. Okay, wood log. There we are. So now we have a log. And that should mean that now we can, like, jump over and platform across and do something or other. Yeah, you can stand here and then open this up. Interesting. I can't open this up. Ah, well. Well, yeah, it could be worse. Okay, well, I'll keep that log there because it's mildly interesting. Okay, so now we have the platforming to Bill's garage, or Bill's junk. We don't have the logic for it. And so this one is substantially more complicated to get to. Oh yeah, I have to do... hang on. Go back to the world. These are supposed to be named, no, these. Empties. These will be generic, box, medium. I think that's what sets them apart. Or like what they'll be named properly. Yeah. This says box, medium there. Ugh. Okay. Requires tangent blah. I don't care. Don't show me that. Because it's some weird thing with, like, the, like, synchronization or whatever. Like, just a timing issue, basically. But okay. Okay. Where is the raccoon? Probably in people, even though he's not a person. Wrong one. This one. Okay. Place within quest. We need to have 2. Garbage 2. And then fed. Okay. And I think he's gonna have an old pizza. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, so cake. Quite wasteful of him. Maybe it'll just be an old personal pizza or something. And we're going to use, like, the exact same colors. Well, no. I don't want him to throw out a whole pizza. Maybe, like, half a pizza. There we are. Okay. And then let's do kind of gray. What if it's even a bit moldy? Yeah, so that explains why, like, he was gonna eat it, but it was moldy and oldie. Okay, what color should old cheese be? That feels about right. Okay, and then some sauce. Yeah, that color's about good. Let's get about there. Okay. There we are. Getting these like stray pixels here. I'm actually getting extremely hungry now. I only had an apple for breakfast. But okay. And then darker cheese here. And then we should probably have some dark splotches for like the burns, the classic melted cheese heated parts. Yeah, get some like dark spots in here for like probably darker orange spots. This is how pizza looks. Basically. Okay, and then we need some extra splashes of color here. There we are. Okay. Food. Pizza. Ready. Food. Pizza. Okay. Let's say that, and then we're going to do, I found a moldy pizza in the trash, and he's going to eat it. Okay, and that's going to be number 2. There we go. And then I should be able to just get our garbage. And this one's going to be slightly different. There we are. Okay, food, pizza, 0.4 meters. Like a 14-inch pizza. Oh, right. We need to have this actually be unique because, ooh, hang on. When we set the sprite here, so we need to set this to be local to scene. And then we're going to do var m equals sprite3d.get material, or like material override, if m is shader material. m.set shader parameter sprite s. Okay. So now when we go back to the world, this should hopefully be good. There we are. And I'm going to have this stick up a bit more, probably like right there. Yeah, that's fine. Except for I want this to be rotated 90 degrees. So that way more of the pizza is exposed to the environment. There we go. That way there's more pizza visible, even from this angle. And actually, I kind of think, maybe we make these actually, like, meshes? I can't tell. I don't know what I want, really. And honestly, I don't even... Using a Sprite 3D for these is kind of redundant because I have to set all of the parameters anyway for like the material and stuff. So maybe I shouldn't use the Sprite 3D at all and I should just use a quad mesh in general. But okay. What this means is now I should be able to do the same thing with the other thing. Let's do erase stat raccoon garbage, and then raccoon moved. So that way I should just be able to get the raccoon to move again, and then I don't have to do the whole thing to get the car, because, or like slowly walk over to him. Okay. Okay, so now we have a very different and much more difficult way of getting up here. Well, I could just... Surely I can just, Oh yeah, I can kind of just jank my way up here, I think. Wait, what? Why can't I, like... What's happening here? Oh, it must be because if we do Gizmo's, collision, which What? Why are the collisions not visible here? I think it must be that. I think it's basically, it was sticking out far enough that it affected its ability to, like... Okay, I'll just do it the hard way. So yeah, this is admittedly quite unlikely for the player to do, but it feels perfectly fine to me. Because yeah, I don't mind if there's like things the player can do that they're unlikely to do. As long as anything that makes sense to them, they can do. It's more than an old pizza. Why did I call it old pizza? It's moldy pizza. Okay. There we are. That old man's eyes are always bigger than his stomach. But half a medium pizza, he was feeling ambitious. So you can tell whose trash it was? Alright. And now we double check to make sure that he's in the proper place, with the proper stats, etc. And then all we need is the textures. Okay, there we are. Oh, wait. Get the trash. There we are. Trash. Or, yeah. Okay. Next up, go back to the garbage cans. I think we're gonna do all three of these. So we're gonna need to figure out how I want to actually do this. Mark seams there. Oh, and that means that I'm fine with that. Basically, not very many, or there's going to be some pretty crummy textures. Okay, unwrap. And we also have the trash in here, right? No, we don't. Now we do. Alright, that'll be easy. Oh wait, but because of the way the trash can is set up... Ooh, hang on. I have to get the trash can. So this mirror modifier needs to have the UVs. There we are. So we actually need these to be like 0.6. Wait, why are these... I feel like I don't need to have these, so, well, whatever. Basically, we do that. Okay, and then we have, like, this here, no. This here. And that can just be mirrored, I'm fine with that. And then last but not least, we need the actual trash can here. And so yeah, I could do something good with these. Or like we can yeah, unfortunately it doesn't show me the UVs. Is there a way to do that? So like mirror here. No. And yeah, we could get, I think we can get these a bit better. Yeah, this should be pretty easy. Because yeah, this one and this one are not mirrored. And I think this one I'm just going to do... yeah, basically that. That's going to be fine. Yeah, because these two, I'm not going to actually have anything interesting going on with them. Okay. Oh, and that's just the bottom of the trash can, so who cares? Okay. So now we have that basically good enough, except for I want this to also be a little bit bigger. Since we can do it. Okay. Can I get this here? Properly, like, ooh, this is gonna be kind of a pain to do, I think. Because I don't think this is gonna actually have the modifiers on the UVs. If we go to here. Yeah. That was exactly what I feared. But I think what I can do is we can just open up Krita. Get this. Layer transform. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be garbage can. Well, the thing is, with these cans, you typically don't have, like, loose garbage. You, like, seal up the bag. Ah, well, whatever. Maybe they forgot to seal up the bag. Or something. Okay, project... What the hell am I doing? There we are. Garbage can. And I think a 256 by 256 will be perfectly fine with that. What did I do? I feel like this is different than what it's... Oh, right. Because I did... I don't know what I did. Yeah.
Because this is what it typically looks like. And then I think for the trash we will have this. And that'll just be for the garbage. Okay. And then here, let's just have like right, we need to get paint out to get some proper like garbage here. Or whatever I'm doing. Basically like what would it be? Let's just say Duwamish County. This thing is pissing me off. It's like flickering. I want Mr. Trash as cool trash. Hang on. I want bigger text here. There we are. And then waste disposal. Okay. I can see how I feel about this. How are we gonna... I think Hermite... Well, no. Wasn't bicubic my favorite? That feels about right. Though admittedly now, I feel kind of dumb for having made it, yeah, let's just delete that. Mr. Trash. There we go. Now it's a little bit more reasonable. Though admittedly now, my main complaint is... Okay, we need something smaller. Maybe like 8 point no anti-aliasing. Let's do like 10 or something. I think 11 will probably be fine. There we are. Well, if we move this a little bit. I think I might just have to make my own font again. Okay. And then no, wait, hang on. I have a better idea. There we are. That, yeah, that basically works. That'll be fine. And then this will be white, and we'll also have it on the other side of the trash can, or maybe something else. So let's do maybe a light green or something. And then what if we had right in here, we have a little white band or something. I think that'd look nice. And that way, I can also do the same thing right here. And here. And they should hopefully just line up perfectly. Except for the places where they won't line up. And actually, let's do... We'll delete 1 pixel. I think this one's too big. Okay. Let's see if that works. Outdoor. There we are. Oh yeah, and then we need the black, or like dark gray here for the wheels. Okay. Garbage can. Standard. Okay. Wait. Where's our... Wait, this should be garbagecan.jpg, first of all. Okay, delete that one. And then, why is... Hang on. Where's the... Did I not save that? Maybe I didn't. Okay. Well, that should be fine. And then this here, I'm gonna do, you know, just the same color as that. That should be fine. Yeah, that'll be okay. And then, oh yeah, but because... Right, I forgot to copy this. What? What the fuck did I just copy? I must have been holding Alt again. Okay, there we are. And... yeah, there's some things that aren't lining up properly, but that's okay. What I think I'll do is I'll just delete 1 pixel from, like, here. And then call it good. Actually, wait, what the heck is this? I don't think that's anything. And you know what? I'm just going to call all of these, like, detail. Okay, because I think this should be... about good, except for this back piece needs to be 1 pixel higher, and I don't know which one that would be. Okay, because that dark one is basically correct. This other side, though, where there's like... Okay, I see. I believe it's these that need to be moved up 1. Okay, that feels about right. And then I do kind of like having a little bit of this corner detail. So I could... Well, I know what I can do. Get rid of the UVs. Well, we'll have the UVs for now. Detail. We're just going to have like a multiply here. Let's do our little sketch. It never has the ones that I actually want. Which is it's very strange, actually. But okay, basically, yeah, we'll just have some of this here. And then we can potentially have a little bit of also contour elsewhere, but I don't actually need... Well, I don't really need to do any of this, but I want to do any of this. Okay. Alright, there we are. Test this out. And then, honestly, I might just kind of have the UVs on the wheels here barely do anything. Well, yeah, I can just have, like, a tiny bit of a, like, white dot right about here. Is this fucking, like, hang on. Why is this fucking thing never in the right location? It's like, clearly, what I wanted was for it to not be centered. And then do I want anything else? I can't be bothered. Okay. And so that means the last bit to do is the trash. Oh, that was not as big as it needed to be. My laziest job yet. But oh well. Oh wait, get the UVs down. There we go. Okay. And I don't need a dang thing else. Yeah, that should be fine. Though admittedly, I probably should have put Mr. Trash on the side. Well, it's never too late. I can just move this text. Because basically, this text will be visible. Okay, let's do... Actually, I have a good idea. And that way, the Mr. Trash will not be visible from here. The white stripe will be, but that's fine, because I can pretend that that's like something. And yeah, I'm fine with that. Except for I would actually like to have this on the other side as well. There we are. And maybe a cool logo. But I'll do that some other day. But okay, we got the model, got the textures. Do I have any door sounds that would work? Let's look through like an open and close. That doesn't sound right. I'm kind of fine with that, actually. And also, I just noticed that my microwave has a distinct sound for opening, even though I didn't put that in here. Yeah, here I just have the open fridge, so we need to have the microwaves. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. And this should be SFX. Let's do like -8, -2. Okay. And this will probably be good enough. Let's double check. But okay, and this does give a bit more, like, believability to the space as well. Let's have this be, like, 0.9 and, like, 0.8. And I think this will be 0.5 or 4. Doesn't really make sense, but that's okay. I can't be bothered. Wait, also, why is the cake gone? Oh, because I already had the cake delete. Wait, no, I didn't. That doesn't make any sense. Hang on. So if the required value is less than 0 and we have value, or value is equal to required value, then we delete the parents. That seems fine to me. I don't see why it would only do one. I can't really be asked about it. So yeah, we got open, we got closed, we got that, we got that. And then I'm gonna say bug is the cake or We'll also have to double check to make sure that the deleter still works, because that would be a shame if it doesn't. But okay. Now we have a whopping 2 alternative options for that. But okay. I'm hungry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in probably half an hour to 45 minutes. And I'll continue doing the rest of this. Alright. See you then.